Hi, this is Kathleen Harlick speaking to you from Naples, Florida, and I'm taping this during the pandemic at the request of actually my Sugetsu group from Ikebana. They asked if I would please talk about backboards and how to make them and so forth. So I'm going to use a technique that was taught to me by Lorraine Gabler, who was a longtime member of SIFA and passed away, but a very dear friend and very, very good designer. So she had this little method of making these backboards. I'll show you the big one because it has all the information on it. On the back of this says styrofoam, residential sheathing insulation. It's Dow Chemical and it's styrofoam brand, and I purchased it at Lowe's, I believe, or Home Depot, I don't remember which, but one of them has it in blue, one of them has it in pink, it doesn't matter. They're very light and easy to transport, easy to change the covering, and I'll show you how I do it. I'll show you how she did it. I think I may have an easier method, but we'll take a look at hers as well. This big board measures 32 by 48, and I'll do a simple design in front of you and place it in this backboard and base. I like to use the same color backboard as base because you don't get the line across your design, which becomes part of your design. It stops the eye as people are looking from the foreground into the background. That line actually is a stop. And if you have two different colors, it's more of a stop. I have a very stretchy material stretched across this. This is the base. I have it stretched across this, and what I normally do is take the base, lay it upside down. So I'm pulling the pins out. They pull out very easily. They go in very easily. The material is very easy to work with because it stretches, and the styrofoam is easy to pin into because it's soft. And they're easy to transport. What I do is put them in a big plastic bag and transport them that way. So what I normally do is cut a piece of fabric just slightly bigger than this and wrap it around and then pin it as you see. It was very simple to do. And I often take material with me to my speaking engagements and ask them to cut me some of these, and it works beautifully because all I need is a whole bunch of pins and people to pin them for me, and it works. Okay, the way she did it, and this is the original one that I did with her, I didn't use such a stretchy fabric, and I'm not as pleased with this because it wrinkles, and in the humidity it wrinkles worse, and so forth. So what she did was to wrap it around, pin it in place, and then use this blue tape to tape it down. And I must say it has lasted very well, but I wasn't happy with my fabric, so I want to use this as an open space. This has lots of open spaces, and I want to keep an open space in here as well. So I'm going to do some clipping which will make a dreadful mess in my living room, but that's okay. I have the rest of my life to clean it up. So I'm clipping here rather close to the stem, just to open up that space in there. And I have an idea of what I want to do with it. I don't know if it wants me to do it, but we'll see. Okay, so I've opened up the space. Well, I don't want you like that. I want you clipped. So I'm going to clip you and remove you. Okay, it's such beautiful, beautiful material as it is. I just adore it, and I've used it quite a bit. I dry it as well and use it. So here we go. I'm going to place this in the Kanzen, hopefully upright. And it's going to take a little effort because this is sticky stuff to work with. There we go. I think that's about it. Get some contrast in there. And I do have leftover these beautiful anthurium that I've been working with for a while. I'm trying to be rather thrifty by not spending a lot, and I certainly don't want to go out and buy flowers. So I did order some from Greenpoint in Hawaii. And these are what's left. And there's I'm just going to let him peek through there. It is a him. And let's see. I have it on this. I have this on a Lazy Susan, and I can turn it. That's rather pretty. And I can get another one in here. Okay. And I do have a third little tiny one that I might use somewhere there. I don't know if I want to though. I think that's rather pretty. I could. This kind of does connect the container to the design. What I'd like to do though is show you something that I have figured out, well actually I've learned along the way. These Lois Cornell Simply Art oil pastels. They look like this, come in a box. You can use another brand called Crapas, C-R-A-P-A-S. I think Crayola makes them. But what you can do with them, which is really slick, that is, I'm taking a red Crapa and I'm going to give this container a little of a red hue, because you've got red here, and I'm going to try to kind of enhance this and just get some red in here. And this takes it beautifully because it's so textured. What's so nice about these oil pastels is that you can wipe it off. It just wipes off. It's not that waxy bit that crayon would leave. But I think you can see that it's giving me some of that red to draw your eye through the container and into this. And it's not obvious that this is a crayon. I think it's rather slick because it doesn't look like crayon, especially on this rough surface. It's really neat. I think we could go in there as well, and certainly on the sides and even on the top, and get that red throughout, and that will wed your container to your design. So I hope that's a little clue for you. I often use it with miniatures because never is the miniature container the same color that you want. So you actually can change the color by using these. It's Lois Cornell, Simply Art, oil pastels, sold in art stores, probably online as well. So I will take a still of this, try to get a really good still, and show you the final product. I didn't mean this to be a wonderful design. I wanted to show you the foreground, background technique. One other thing that I could suggest is that instead of using the styrofoam as the base, you can take a piece of foam board, which sometimes warps. That's my only issue with it. This won't warp. But you can do foam board and it's a little more secure. Sometimes when you're putting a large container on that styrofoam, it wobbles or it sets into it and looks a little bit unsteady, or appears unsteady, and it may be. So the foam board would be a little more secure for a large container. So I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it, and I will see you on video number 7.